Alright folks, today we are down in Meyerland, another area of town I don't come to very often, but if the client needs me to, I will. So we've got bees back here in the wall of this little backyard shed. And there they are. It'll light up. It's hard to tell. They're all over the bottom wall. They're like, get here a little bit closer maybe. Yeah. I mean, they're like, well, that's staining, but there's the bees down at the bottom. There's the bees. There you go. So client tells me they've been in the building for, you know, at least a year or two that he's aware of, but they've never bothered him. They don't bother him when he mows his backyard or anything, so he just leave him be. But ouch, just got stung by one. Just got stung by another. Anyway, so we'll get them. We'll get everything set up here and get vacuumed. Everything inside here on the outside of the building, we'll get them vacuumed off first, and then we'll pull off this siding here and expose the colony in this exterior wall, and then we'll go to work. So Chance is working on getting them opened up still. They came out and put on a pretty good show for us this morning, probably because it's still early morning and we kind of woke them up. They covered him up pretty bad and we're burrowing in. So we did get our soapy water here just in case, and I sprayed him down to kind of get them off them. They're not really chasing us. They're not being too bad. They're hitting my hands now again. Hopefully they're just pissed because we woke them up. But anyway, just a little update for you. I got stingers I got to pull out now, so I'm gonna cut it off. Looky here. 2 joist space completely full. And then they even had a third section over here where they started putting some honeycomb. This is a big nest, folks. Probably one of the bigger I've done, honestly. What we're looking at, you've got all honey up top, all down this side, that's all honey. Maybe some older brood comb here on the bottom, but all honey up top. And honey and empty comb over there on the side, and then we've got some pretty fresh brood comb here. When I say fresh, it's not new, but it's active. Very new comb down there at the bottom, the whiter comb. These are all old, darker combs. It doesn't look like maybe they're really using them for a whole lot. Probably have a lot of pollen in them and for honey overflow. But yeah, so we took off this wall section, and we pretty well figured it was going to be empty because inside there's no bees coming out around the receptacle, so I knew there was a joist, you know, here. But we took it off because it's tongue and groove OSB, so this piece that was here was overlapping this piece. So we just pulled it off to get out of the way. Plus, you know, as I explained in other videos, we want to get it off because you can see now there are bees that got over here somehow. They were getting in down at the corner. So had we not pulled it off, we'd done this whole job. So yeah, we got them all, and there could have been a whole wall full of bees right here that we'd have missed. So get it off so you can see. I'm not worried about them being in that next space because there's no comb adjacent to that stud. But we will, as we're working, we'll vacuum. If they start running that direction, we'll keep them away from that stud. So anyway, y'all know the process from here. We're going to be vacuuming bees, trying to get them under control. They're not horribly aggressive. They're very flighty. They're crawling all over our suits, but they're actually, you know, they're not really pursuing us too much. They're not horribly aggressive. They've had a couple of little incidents where they light us up real quick, but then they calm down again. So trying to get them vacuumed down, get them under control, and we're going to start cutting combs. Okay, so just give you all a little update. You can remember, this whole wall was full, that whole wall was full, and the next space over had some combs. We've got all the combs out. Chance is just scraping things clean now. I got that whole board cleaned off. You can see they're straight, they're robbing it. We're going to go ahead and pull down this top section because the bees were running up there a lot. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of them up there. I don't think there's going to be any combs. But we want to just go ahead and open it up and make sure that we don't, you know, leave the big ball of bees up there that's hiding from us. So we're going to pull that down here once we get everything cleaned up. But we've got bees pumping up here and there and yonder and all over. But we have filled every single bucket I brought. I had a dozen little 1-gallon buckets, filled those. All of my cat litter buckets, I had 5 or 6 of those, filled them. Even had to take the one bucket that I normally keep my Be Quick and my backup soap in. Had to wash that out and use it. So we filled every single bucket, and that was pretty much the limit of it. So yeah, now we're just kind of cleaning up, and we'll get them vacuumed down as much as we can, and then we'll be packed up and headed out of here. Okie dokie, we got them all out of there and all cleaned up. We realized we were talking about taking that top piece off to make sure they weren't hiding. But actually, if you go inside the shed, there's no interior drywall up there, so there's no bees up there. But everything cut out, like I told you. Filled every single bucket I had. And I've gone through, you know, vacuum bees the whole time. Never did spot the queen, but we did a lot of, you know, quick vac them up just to try to get them under control. They were pretty moody early on. I could maybe take my veil off right now, but there's just a few that keep, most of them are just flying around chaotic, but there's a few that are being pestery, so I just keep my veil on. I took my stings on my hands this morning, so I'm happy. Got everything scraped and cleaned off this piece of the wallboard. Sprayed it all down with Be Quick. Sprayed all this down with Be Quick, so they'll find somewhere to clump up. Oh, there they are. We better get our vacuum and get those before we leave. Now we got it done enough. I fired the vac back up and I got up there and sucked up a bunch of them. And you can see they're just piling back up. So that's typical. That's all the foragers that are coming back, and they're confused and disoriented as to where the house went. So they just pile up on the nearest thing they can find. You know, I don't suspect they have a queen. I've already vacuumed them all up once, so I imagine we vacuumed her somewhere along the way. We did a lot of just, you know, vacuuming up big clumps of bees, just trying to get them under control because they were so feisty early on. But like I said, I showed you we got everything cleaned out of the wall and Be Quicked, and now we're just loading up tools and headed home.